Hi, my name is Loretta or Trinity6, and this is my channel, The Limitless Infinite, a space for you to align your mind to higher vibrations and higher frequencies. So I am outside today. It's pretty cold out today, but it's beautiful, and I just wanted to make a follow-up video today in regards to a video I posted a few days ago that has to do with energy that can't be, the state of energy that can't be created or destroyed, and that state of energy existing in the state of absolute perfection. And I just wanted to go over that. I think that there was maybe some questions about how, so there's people doing all different kinds of things, like positive and negative, good and bad, and how that energy, when I say that energy is in everything and in all of us, and that energy exists in a state of perfection, then I think the question was like, oh, well, when someone's like doing something really bad, like in my previous video I was talking about like cursing or hexing or casting out negative energy, and so it's like when someone's casting out negative energy or hexing someone, then if the hex, like let's say someone's hexing someone, that the hex exists in a state of absolute perfection, so therefore it has to be able to be, like if you're casting out a hex onto an energy that is in a state of absolute perfection, but the hex is also in a state of absolute perfection, then why wouldn't it work? And I just wanted to go over today that how you qualify this energy has everything to do with how this energy works for you. And what that means is that you're right. Any energy that we're using for creation is going to exist in this state of absolute perfection. But how we qualify the energy, then the energy has a certain vibration and frequency, and so it exists perfectly within whatever vibration and frequency you are qualifying this energy with. So basically, if you know about the law of polarity, there's a polar scale for things, and so you would say, okay, I know energy can't be created or destroyed, so there's this scale for this energy, and this energy exists in the state of absolute perfection, but there's going to be really low vibration and low frequencies on one end and really high vibrations and high frequencies on the other. And so it's just really important to know that as a creator, in the act of creation, our qualification, which has everything to do with what kind of vibration you are at, and then it's like the energy is passing through you in your act of creating with your words or with your language. And then, so that energy will imbue sort of whatever your vibration and frequency is, and then, whatever kind of energy that you're putting into it will further qualify how this energy then leaves you in this act of creation and what the vibration and frequency is once you have utilized it in whatever way you're using to create. And so you could be like a very high vibration frequency person, but if you were casting out negative energy, if you were having a really bad day and then screaming at someone, that negative energy that you put out is going to have a low vibration and low frequency. So you can be a being that's divine and perfect and high vibration, high frequency. But if we, in a moment, qualify this energy with a low vibration or low frequency, then that energy is gonna have that resonance. And so you, in the act of your creating, are the deciding factor of how this perfect energy is going to be cast out into the world or created in the world. And I thought it was important to know that, because if you're casting out negative energy or you're someone casting out a hex or a curse on someone, that energy is always going to be a lower vibration and lower frequency than the energy of the person, entity, or being, or whatever it is that you are casting out this hex or curse upon. And it doesn't matter how bad a thing this other person has done, if you are casting out energy onto this person in this kind of form, in this kind of way, that hex, that curse, is going to be a lower vibration and lower frequency. And I think that this is hard to understand, and I'll put it this way. So if you have someone that killed somebody, now that's really low vibration and low frequency. And so you have someone casting out a curse or a hex on somebody that, like, this person killed someone that you knew, and now you're cursing and hexing this person. and you're wondering, okay, like a hex and a curse doesn't seem like it can be as bad as killing someone. But what it is that when you cast out this creative energy out on someone, and whatever your cast is, you're thinking this person's either casting out this energy to have horrible things happen to this person because of what they've done, or impede them from being able to do something in this life or in their next lifetime, or whatever it is. Basically what you do when you cast out this type of energy in an act that is what you might consider like malevolent, you are impeding the divine plan, the energy of the universe, of creator, that decides what is to happen and what is to become a part of everyone's experience. And what I mean by that is this person who killed somebody, although that was very low vibration and low frequency, it is part of their free will and their choice in this incarnation. But no matter where that being's incarnated, that person's choice as part of the act of creation that they are in, as part of divine creator, that they are able to make the choice to do whatever they want. And so this person, even though they're doing low vibrational things, is in the act of creating, which is the whole purpose of creation. Now when you put that energy out, now while you're also creating, you're also impeding the divine plan. So instead of allowing the universe to decide what is going to happen to this person, or to allow karma, the law of karma, to come to this, to be decided for this person, or shall I say they decided for themselves, you basically are trying to impede some of these laws from happening to this being that would naturally occur. There is a natural system that we are all held by, being part of these galaxies and part of this universe. And when you cast out these types of energies, specifically kind of like curses and hexes, where you're really like altering the state of how someone's life is going to be, you are basically trying to act as, you are trying to act as the divine source that would normally function as these laws, and the cause being that this person made this choice to kill someone, and the effect being that these laws are working for all of us, and that they're going to be held by these laws as their future unfolds, and that the divine plan itself will unfold the perfect thing for them to learn from and to have their soul evolve from. And when you are putting your energy in the way of that, you are basically not recognizing the divine plan. You're not recognizing that that soul has its own journey in its own way, and as part of this universe has its own plan for it to figure out what it needs to figure out from this, very negative, low vibrational act. And so when you are trying to act as the divine that is deciding, okay, like I'm not going to listen to the laws of the universe, and I'm going to decide for this person what is best and what I think that they need to learn from this experience, that is actually lower vibration and lower frequency than the person that was just making the choice. So you're almost impeding a certain degree of not natural selection, but natural, not even creation, but the way things naturally would unfold for someone, by interjecting and casting your own personal energy that you have personally qualified with a very low vibration and low frequency to impede this unfolding that would naturally happen. So I just say that because I think people have a hard time. People think, oh, someone's doing something really low vibration, low frequency, and someone else is trying to do something, that would, hexes and curses aren't really going to stop somebody from doing something. I guess if you hex someone to never kill anybody again, fine. But then that you're taking away their divine choice, their free will. You're interfering with someone's free will. And that in and of itself is, like I was saying, a lower vibration and low frequency. The whole point of us being here is part of the divine plan, part of creation, and within that we get to all be our own individual creators, and we have to answer to our own projections of what what kind of rules or laws that we live by, and we are held to that. Now, somebody else getting in the way of that, somebody else's, own self-projections of their life and their soul evolution, that in and of itself is even lower vibration and low frequency. Even though it can seem like it's not as bad, it is definitely a lower vibration and lower frequency. So I just thought it was important to get that out there, that you make the choice of how to qualify this perfect energy, and based upon the qualification of it, that's how it'll be projected out from you. And then based on the level of your intention, that is basically what comes back around to you. So that's kind of like when they say, like, what goes around comes around. It's almost like when you project out your own energy in a really negative way, if you've qualified it really low vibrational, low frequency, essentially that energy is going to come back to you because it is your energy. What happens is that when you, I think too, is when you cast out these negative vibes and negative frequencies, and someone else in their own divine perfection turns around and gives your vibration attention, then you two start connecting and become interacted, and you resonate. So this other person's now resonating at the level that, so you, when you create, when you qualify this energy, you are resonating at the same vibration as this frequency. And so then when someone engages with it, they're resonating at that frequency too. And so now you've entangled basically somebody else to be on your vibration. And so this is a lot of the healing work that we're talking about, which is, being able to forgive or use the law of forgiveness. And what we are looking to do is really transmute these types of connections, these types of entanglements. And really what that is when I'm saying it's a self journey, I've talked about in some of my previous videos, like, it's not really up to us to decide when someone else should be forgiven or when to forgive. We call on this law to forgive for us, not for us, but to work for us, when we have our heart in the right place and we can send out these loving vibrations. But you're basically healing your own energy that you've already cast out. So you've cast out this negativity, and that negativity has created a discordance in someone. And it's not even in someone so much as it's you've cast this negative energy out, and now you've gotten someone else to resonate at your vibration. And basically what you want to do is transmute that, because when you can transmute the energy from your side that you've cast out, and you've transmuted that which you created in this lower vibration and low frequency, you are then able to also transmute the energy, basically that the frequency and vibration that person was resonating with now has been transmuted into a higher vibration and higher frequency. And so it's not just like, energy doesn't just disappear. So like we were saying, energy can't be created or destroyed. When you use the law of forgiveness, what you're doing is you're almost like re-qualifying that energy that you've cast out with a higher vibration and higher frequency. And so when you do that, when you say, okay, I yelled at someone yesterday and I called them names and it was horrible, and now I'm calling on the law of forgiveness to be directed to this person to transmute these discordant energies that I have cast out or that I have created. And then the second part is always, and then I send them the fullness of the love of my divine being. You're just re-qualifying that energy. So then when that person is trying to resonate with that energy, there's no energy at that vibration and frequency that existed before for them to resonate with, because you've raised that vibration and frequency. And so then the healing for them can become easier in a sense, because there's no other resonance there. There's no other vibration or frequency for them to continue resonating. So then for their energy to be able to be transmuted, or at least for that resonance to dissipate, it can become easier, because that sort of the entanglement that you had is no longer has been transmuted. So now they're really just engaging with this higher vibration and higher frequency. And sometimes it could be just like people, the moment passes and it never really gets to them, or it could be that they, feel that they have this higher vibration of healing that's coming from you because you have used one of these tools to be able to transmute it. But I think it's just important to just know that you know, you have these tools that can transmute these energies. That yes, all energy, because it can't be created or destroyed, exists in a state of absolute perfection, but we qualify that energy so that state of absolute perfection can exist in a range of different vibrations and different frequencies, and we as creators make the choice of how to apply or qualify this energy. And then based on how we have in the past or how we are today qualifying these this energy, that really is just our own energy that's going to end up coming back to us, and we have the opportunity now to really do a lot of this healing and to transmute these, at least the lower vibrations and lower frequencies that we project out from ourselves, and that in turn leaves just higher vibrations and higher frequencies for people to resonate with. And so when one person, 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, 5 people, all, you know, we all start transmuting these lower vibes, and we say, you know what, I want to qualify this absolutely perfect energy with something higher vibration and higher frequency, then the resonance that we have with each other becomes greater. It becomes greater at these higher vibrations and higher frequencies. And so it's just such an important thing. We're coming into this time now where there's just so many, I think, low vibrations and negative vibrations because people feel trapped because of COVID, because people are struggling, because you know, people are fighting to have work and have jobs, and we feel like there's so much, you know, I don't want to say, we just have these lower vibrations being passed around because our lives are getting changed so much, and it's such a important time to be able to understand how to use your own power of creation to re-qualify some of our own projections, and a lot of that too during this time is to really remember to be in a state of abundance, of joy, of bliss, to feel appreciative, to feel gratitude, even though it seems like we have all these other things that we are not either, you know, don't have, you know, that we need, that are now being restricted from us, or however you want to put it. But to just remember to keep those higher vibrations and frequencies, and while we have more time to ourselves, because we're maybe not as busy as we were before, it's a great time to start thinking about everything that you've ever qualified and cast out from yourself, and anything that you think is worthy of your attention, into healing, into raising that vibration and frequency, so that we can start resonating at a much higher state. So thank you so much for joining me for this video. Please, if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below, and or feel free to shoot me an email, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.